Okay, Claudette. So you said that you started as a respite carer, and then you decided to be a full-time carer. Can you tell me a bit about how you come about? In fact, you come about to start as a respite carer. How did you know about fostering in the first place?
Via the people that I was looking after, the backup carers that I was looking after via their agency.
Okay.
That's how I knew about it. And I did my research from there. And also I did all the training. I asked to, because I had time. So a lot of the training was at the weekends as well. So some weekends I'd give up and go on all the training that was offered to be a foster care. All the training that the foster carers were doing, I did the same course as well. And that became very useful.
Okay. So you then decided that, you've done respite and you decided to do fostering as a full-time foster carer. Yeah. And then because of other kind of change of circumstance in your life, you had to leave fostering and you decided to come back. Can you tell me what made you decide to come back to fostering?
Well, I missed the buzz of the house of having young people in the home, because it's just me and my partner that live together. So having the excitement of all the children and just running around and just feeling young again, really, I loved it. And I loved watching children thrive in our care, because we did see a difference and, we could tell. And I missed that completely. And also it was a rewarding job. I mean, not necessarily in the sense of money, but rewarding because I could evidence what I'm doing. I could see what I'm doing and I'm getting told what I'm doing. And we loved it. Obviously in my other job, I was getting bonuses and it's city money and all that kind of stuff. And it's a lifestyle, but I'd sort of outgrown that. And I was really seeing long-term benefits to what we were doing with the children. And we're very proud of the children that we've had in our care anyway. They've gone on to do great things. So that's rewarding for us.
Okay. So can you tell me how many children up to now, we have been fostering for 15 years, how many children have come in through your door and you have looked after in the last 15 years?
Whew. If I'm going to include respite as well, I'd say about 23.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
I've had children.
Yeah, these 23 children, can you tell me a bit about what age group or any of their was there any challenges or different kind of needs?
We've had various children. I've had siblings in the group, like 5, 8, and 12 siblings, some with special needs.
Yeah.
I've had unaccompanied minors, which are children that have come from war-torn, countries, where they've come here in a lorry, literally in the clothes that they're standing in. But I've had one child that was from Somalia that couldn't speak a word of English, so we used to have to do Google Translate together to talk to each other, so I could get to know who the child is, his personality and everything. So we Google Translate together, we talk, and I found out his interests, and his interest was he wanted to be a doctor, but he couldn't speak English or anything. Anyway, he went on we encouraged him to go to all the ESOL classes so that he could learn English. He learned it very quickly. He went on to get a scholarship to be a doctor, and he qualifies next year.
Wow, that's an amazing story.
Yeah, he came to us as an unaccompanied minor. So he came to us at the age of, say, 15 years old, 16. And he engaged in everything that he's supposed to, well-behaved. But, he had, nightmares in the night and all that kind of stuff. A lot of them come with troubles from where they came from before. But, you can get help, you get managed. My supervising social worker helps me with everything, all my concerns and everything. I've had children that are very challenging, that won't take no for an answer. Don't want to tidy their rooms up or anything because I don't think they have to. Loads of different children. Some children don't want to come home. They want to be with their friends. They want to see their boyfriends, their girlfriends, and all sorts.
Okay. So yeah. So you have just talked about the rewards and some challenges which you come across as a foster carer.
Yeah.
And I think before you took a break, these challenges were already there. And so, you know, fostering can be challenging and can be rewarding also. So some carers, when they take a break, they will then think, should I go back? So you decided to come back knowing the challenges. So what made you feel that, okay, I'll go back and do it and deal with it? What made you do that?
Well, of course, I'm a parent as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I know what challenges are with young people. What made me come back?
Well, you know, the challenges are there because
yeah.
I know sometimes as a foster carer, when you are faced with challenges, you now question yourself, why am I doing this? And so this is where I'm thinking, what kind of, what made you feel, because you mentioned about the support or everything. So is it that part of it, or what made you decide that I can still do this journey with?
Because I could see the benefit at the end of it. I always have the end in mind. I already know, I can see the potential in the young person, and it's a work in progress continually with these young people come, most of them come semi-damaged already. And your job is just to try and make their life better. That's all. It's never going to be perfect. You're not going to help everyone. We already know that because we've had the training. So we know. And it's a very passionate job as well. You're giving a lot of you know, and you're always on duty when you're at home. It's not like my previous job where my job finishes at 5 o'clock and I come home to rest. My job is in my house and I'm on duty all the time. But the support is there.
Okay.
You're not on your own.
Yeah, my question was because you had your job in the city.
Yeah.
And I guess it was not as, I know it's a job, but it might not have been as challenging as looking after children. But you decided that I still want to do fostering. So that's really amazing that you have given up. You know, you could have pursued your career in the city.
I could have.
But you give up. And
I didn't want the commuting either. You know, I got fed up of the commuting as well.
Okay, so you can say the working from home works, yeah?
That was a benefit because my parents are elderly now, so I'm able to go to the appointments with my parents. If they have hospital appointments, I can actually make the appointments from home without my boss breathing down my neck. I could do, you know, I work with a diary all the time, and I have the time for the children, time for my own life, and time for everything else.
Okay. So just a quick question about your life in the city. I just want to find out, because you were fostering at that time, you were doing respites that time, and also working in the city. And from your understanding or your own observation there, do you think there is a lot of awareness with the people who are working in those kind of sector? Because I'm just thinking at this moment with this COVID, and a lot of people have made redundancies. So the awareness of them coming into fostering, do you think there is that awareness?
No. Because from my experience, a lot of people are fascinated with the, you know, me being even a foster carer, because they think it's extremely courageous, and that's something that they wanted to do. Some people don't really want to have children, especially professionals. They don't necessarily want to have children of their own, but they would love to foster or adopt. But they think it's for a certain type of person. They think if they're single, it's not for them, it's not going to work, and no one's going to be interested in listening to them. They think you have to be married. They think you have to be old to be a foster carer. That's another thing. So they have a certain thing in mind, what they think foster carers are going to be or supposed to be.
Okay.
You know, they think if they're gay, no one's going to listen to them. There's no chance. So there's all sorts of like preconceived ideas. And of course, I've got a lot of people to do fostering, because obviously they look at me and they think, well, and I'll go on all the training. You know, they're bright people, but they you know, they're interested. So I tell them where to go.
Okay, so it's good that we had that one of our presentation was on the myths of fostering. So hopefully it will reach out to a lot of people so that they know all these things which people think, you know, they can't foster. Then they will be able to foster, because fostering is for everyone, anyone who has got a spare room and the time to foster.